Row 18, plot 20.
Hey everybody, welcome to Now It's Dark. I'm Jim. Today I'm doing a movie review reaction. It's more of a reaction. Spoiler free. For a movie that I didn't expect to see. This is Infinity Pool, written and directed by Brandon Cronenberg. Yes, Cronenberg. It was released on January 27th, 2023, and like I said, this wasn't the movie that I was expecting to see, but it's the one that I ended up being able to see because the other one is not in my area yet. So this movie was a great watch because Mia Goth has become like my current favorite movie star. I don't know how else to say it. Besides Jenna Ortega, Mia Goth, I really enjoyed her in X and Pearl. And this movie, if you're a Mia Goth fan, I think you're really going to love because this shows such a range of acting and emotion and just it's a lot of Mia Goth and it's really good. She's like the main character. So this movie also stars Alexander Skarsgård, and Cleopatra Coleman is also given kind of a top billing. But you know, her part really isn't as big as Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. And this story revolves around James and M. Foster, and that would be Alexander Skarsgård and Cleopatra Coleman. They're enjoying an all-inclusive beach vacation in the fictional island of La Tolqa when a fatal accident exposes the resort's perverse subculture of hedonistic tourism, reckless violence, and surreal horrors. That is a very generalized synopsis of everything that's going on in this. So this will be spoiler free. So I'm going to be giving reaction more so than anything else. First, performance wise, Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth are fantastic. Really fantastic. And all the supporting cast, they all do a great job. They knew their job and they really went to it. So as the synopsis says, and in the trailer you can see, there is an accident. They get to the accident because James and M, they're on this vacation on this island, and he's a writer. He's struggling. He's having kind of a writer's block. He's only written one book. They go there for inspiration, right? And after being there, they are approached by Mia Goth's character Gabby, who recognizes James as the author of a book she has read and loves. And this is at the resort, and they're told by the people at the resort that they really shouldn't leave the resort. It's prohibited because whatever, you know, the mainland, the village is not safe and whatnot. There is a very predominant focus on these masks that some of the resort people are wearing to entice them to be purchased, and they do factor into the movie a little bit. And I tried to look up more information about those masks, but I believe they were called Aki masks. I wasn't able to just, you know, go back and try to hear that again. So they meet Gabby. Gabby has a husband, and let's see, I can't think of her. Gabby Bauer, played by Jalil Lespert. His name is Albin. We'll call him Al. Albin sounds weird. Albin! So Mia Goth's character talks them into going off the resort for like a little day trip, and it lasts all day. On the drive back, they show that accident in the trailer, and that's when things really start to get very, very bizarre. There is some some scenes in this before the accident that I don't want to give away, but Mia Goth, man, she's just out there. I love the roles that she's picking. She's very smart. She's not afraid to do some nudity. This movie has a ton of nudity in it. Male, female, frontal, backside, every side, up and down, upside down. It's all over the place, so pleasantly surprised with that because I'm a big fan of naked people and things of that nature. So after the accident, that's when things really amp up. I think I forgot to mention how long this film was. It's a hour and 57 minutes, so it's a good full 2 hours. It didn't really feel like it to me. I was really engaged in the story that I can't really explain. The title Infinity Pool is a little misleading, actually. It has something to do with the plot, but not in the way that you would expect it to. I'm just trying to look at my notes that I jotted down after I watched it. So after the accident, things get really high stress for James' wife, and when James has the accident, it also affects him in kind of a different way, and he's been given an offer that he can't really refuse to kind of get out of the trouble from the accident. So he does do this. He takes advantage of the offer that the local government has established for foreigners. And once he does that, it just spirals him into this whole web of almost like this little group that he also gets introduced to that have also taken advantage of this little governmental loophole. And it's a real key factor that I can't give away because it's really vital to the story and it's a little twisty. This movie has a lot of visually confusing in times, kind of spectacular. There's camera angles, and unfortunately everybody's going to compare Brandon Cronenberg to his father, Cronenberg. But this is definitely Brandon Cronenberg film style, and it works for this movie. It definitely works for kind of engaging you into the atmosphere of what's going on. So, although this is going to seem spoilerish, it really isn't anything spoilerish, but M ends up leaving, and James cannot, but he plans to. She leaves, stress level's too high. He's getting involved into a lot of craziness. There is a sex scene in this movie that is so fantastic. And I know that's perverse or whatever, but it's really artistic. It's story driven. It's part of this plot. It's also drug induced, so there's kind of like a lot of hallucinogenic kind of imagery. You really, throughout a lot of the movie, you don't know what's like real or what's kind of like in the head, what's going on. But then there's definitely like things that you can tell are going on. The score is really good. It really matches the scenes really well. And it just amps up. And then you get to this ending that's really unbelievable. Like I heard other people too kind of like gasp, like, ah, like we were just like, ah. And you think that's going to be the end, but then there's still like another 15 minutes. So it kind of gets, that's not the ending that you think is about to happen. There's like, it's like a different ending, and you're also left with like, what did I just watch? Like, this was such a ride. This was all over the place. I will forever be recognizing Mia Goth as mommy. And that's all I have to say about that. But this is and at the end of this movie, it was very strange for me. It's always strange when this happens, but when people clap at the end of the movies, it's like a weird thing. I'm never compelled to clap in a theater or at home when I watch a movie, but like the energy level was pretty high, and people clapped. So like that says something about the movie. I don't think this is going to be for everybody, but if you're a Mia Goth fan, and if you think you are, then you definitely need to see it. If you're a Cronenberg fan, you definitely got to see it. Alexander Skarsgård is so bizarre. He's twisted. He becomes twisted. He goes from like point A to point Z or point X in like a short amount of time. So it's a fast 2-hour movie, rated 6.8 on IMDb. It's definitely worthy of that rating. Let me know in the comments down below if you saw this movie or what you think of it, or Mia Goth in general. Mommy.
So have your dream. Go on and sing your song. There's nothing wrong with singing out of tune. If people laugh and say your dream can never be, just think of